Today I'm doing a video about UGC since I am a UGC creator. So I am going to go over what UGC actually is and how you can become a UGC creator in 1 month, just like I did. So I hope you enjoy the video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoy it, and let's get started. Hello friends, and welcome back to our channel. I am so glad to have you here today. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Stacey, and I share this channel with my twin sister Steph. We create new videos and upload for you guys every Monday and Friday around our lives as online small business owners. We both have our own online businesses. I'm a service provider with my own virtual assistant business, and I'm also a business coach, a UGC creator, and a content creator. And my sister Steph is a freelance book editor and beta reader. So on this channel, we make content surrounding our lives as business owners. So we have business content, lifestyle content, weekend vlogs, daily vlogs, work week vlogs, and then also content surrounding our passions, which include books. We love reading, fashion, planning, health and wellness, you name it. So if any of those topics interest you and you're not already, definitely hit the subscribe button. We would really appreciate you sticking around to support us because we're trying to grow our channel greatly this year. So we would really love your support. Thank you so much in advance if you choose to stick around, and welcome back everybody that's already a subscriber. Steph and I appreciate you so much. We're so grateful we're here. So I am going to go over what UGC actually is and how you can become a UGC creator in 1 month, just like I did. Easy peasy. You don't need to purchase anything to start. You don't need to go through some crazy program, course, or education or anything like that. So I'm going to be sharing the tips and tricks and the knowledge I've learned along the way in my journey as a UGC creator. The first part of this video, I am going to go over what exactly is UGC. So you may be wondering what this means, and if you've been on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, any social media accounts for a while, you've probably heard the term UGC, and you've probably been seeing it blow up on social media, am I right? And you're just kind of wondering what it's all about. Well, that was me a couple of months ago. I was the same way. I heard the term UGC all over the place, especially on TikTok, and I was very intrigued by all of these content creators who were making money doing this. So I did my research and started my own business doing it. So I'm going to share it with you today. So starting from the basics, UGC stands for user-generated content. So what this is, in the simplest of terms, the simplest way I can explain it is UGC is content that someone like us, an average normal person, a content creator, if you will, it's content that we make for a brand in exchange for either payment or a gifted product. So essentially the way it works is we reach out to a product-based business or a brand that sells something that we're interested in. They send us the product in the mail, and then we create our own content with it for them to use on their social media accounts to promote their product with. So it is like being a content creator and being an influencer. However, the part I love about UGC is that you do not need to have any kind of following on social media, whereas being an influencer, you need to have sometimes a certain number of followers before a brand will take you seriously and consider working with you. UGC is not like this. You do not have to have any kind of following. You could literally have 0 followers on social media and brands will still work with you. Why is this? Because you're not creating content to share on your social media accounts. You're not trying to influence your followers to buy something. All you're doing is creating content for the brand to use as ads to promote their own products with on their own social media accounts. So that is essentially what UGC is. So you don't have to have an influence, you don't have to have a following. Brands will reach out to you just to make content for them. And I didn't know this, but apparently this industry and this concept has been around for a long time. But it really just started blowing up during COVID. So I heard about UGC last year in 2022, but it's actually been around for a while. A lot of content creators here on YouTube and on social media and everything, they've been doing this for a long time. So it was new to me a couple months ago, but UGC has actually been around for a very long time. It's just getting a lot more popular now that people are discovering what it is. So that is what UGC is in a nutshell. If you're still confused, comment below and I will explain it in further detail, but I hope that makes sense. So it's literally just the brand sends you product in the mail, you create fun content with for them, and then you send the content back to them. And if it was a gifted collab, there's no payment. You just do the work in exchange for the product for free. But if it is a paid collab, either before you make the content or after you send it to the brand, they will pay you for that content. So that's literally what UGC is. That's how it works. I think it's really interesting. It's really, really cool. And I wish I knew about it sooner, honestly. I did not know that people were doing this for a long time. But it really interested me a couple months ago. So that's what led me to start my UGC creator business online. So I'm still learning, I'm still new to the game, but I do have a lot of tips to share. So I'm going to be doing a UGC series on this YouTube channel where I'm going to create different UGC related videos for different topics. So this video is just an overview of, like I said, what UGC is and how you can get started. But like I said, I'm going to turn this into a series and I'm going to do in-depth videos on different aspects of starting a UGC creator business that you need. And I'm going to go into more detail about those different topics and what you need. So stay tuned. Like I said, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on the next UGC videos that are coming soon. So this is just the basics, but I'm going to be going in depth in a full series on this channel. So definitely give it a thumbs up if you're excited to see more. I am a UGC creator. I started my business. I started in October of 2022. So when I'm filming this, I'm about 4 months into my journey and it's been a wild ride so far. It's been a blast. So just to give you a little bit of insight about me. So I am an online business owner, and like I said, I discovered UGC last year. I got interested, and then I just kind of started like researching different people on TikTok that were doing it, and just kind of learning from them, and just getting started, and just, you know, just putting myself out there without knowing what I was doing. You just have to get started. So I just like did all the research I can and tried to learn everything that I could, and I've worked with quite a few brands already, and it's just super fun. I love creating UGC content. So if you're wondering what kind of content you can create for brands, there's so many things, but I think the most popular forms of content that do well that people make are unboxings of the product when you receive it from the brand, testimonials, reviews, demos, like if you're in the beauty industry, like showing how to use something. I have a bunch of UGC examples I've done on my channel and also on my social media accounts, so definitely check them out. But I have a bunch of YouTube shorts with examples, so definitely check those out if you want to see some examples of what I'm talking about. But there's so many different kinds of UGC content you can create, and sometimes brands will have a specific idea in mind, so definitely consider what they want you to do. But a lot of brands will just give you total freedom and creative control over what kind of content you do, so just keep that in mind. But now I'm going to go into the part of the video where how you can start your own UGC creator business in 1 month or less, like I did. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing I recommend doing, like I just mentioned before you start your business, if you're interested in UGC, is to do all the research that you can. What I recommend is going on Instagram and TikTok and just putting in the hashtag in the search bar UGC and just scroll through the reels and like the TikTok videos that come up and just see what you find, just to kind of get the ball rolling and just to get you kind of familiar with like what UGC looks like, what a UGC creator does. Like I said, I'll be making more in-depth videos on this channel, but I definitely recommend just doing some research first, just so you can get a sense of like what these people are actually doing. And like I said, feel free to look at my content as well. I have some YouTube shorts with examples, but like I said, just research, look around, see what other people are doing. Research some brands and just see like what kind of ads they create for their social media accounts. Because a lot of times the ads that you see on social media, especially TikTok from brands, are UGC content from creators that they've done. So just do your research. Like I said, just get familiar with what UGC content is and what it looks like. Just do your research, go on TikTok and Instagram, take some time. I would highly suggest doing that before moving on. So I definitely recommend researching first. The second thing I recommend doing to start as a UGC creator is to determine your niche. So this is where you want to figure out essentially what kind of brands you're interested in working with. So think about the things that you use every day in your household, your favorite products in different categories and different areas of your life. Think about what industries those are in. So for example, if you're a huge makeup lover, right? And you have a bunch of makeup in your house and a bunch of brands that you love, then you could consider niching in the beauty industry for UGC. Think about industries, like I said, where you have products in those industries that you love and industries that you have knowledge about, and you know that a lot of brands have products in, like I said, a lot of things you use on a regular basis. So when determining your niche, just think about things that you're passionate about and what you already know, like what kind of products and industries do you already have knowledge in. So for me, I love fashion. Fashion is one of my favorite things in the world. I know so many clothing brands because like I love fashion. It's been my passion. I have so many different types of clothes. Like I said, I know so many brands. I follow so many brands on social media and I wear their clothing. I follow a lot of fashion bloggers and influencers. So I know a lot about the fashion industry. So that is one of the industries that I chose to work with for UGC. And keep in mind that you don't have to have just one niche. There's a lot of controversy about this topic. Some people will say like you need to have a really, really specific, narrow niche. I disagree. I don't think you necessarily have to stick to one niche, maybe just to get started so you're not overwhelmed. But I call myself a lifestyle creator, even for this YouTube channel. Why do I call myself a lifestyle creator? Because I don't just want to stick to one topic. On this channel, I do business content, health, wellness, cooking, planning, fashion, books, because I have so many passions. I'm multi-passionate, so I don't want to box myself into just creating YouTube videos about one industry, if that makes sense. So same for you with your UGC business. You do not have to feel like you need to just pick one industry and that's it. Maybe if it will help you get started, just so you're not overwhelmed, you can pick one. But like I said, pick a few different industries, a few different topics that you're passionate about, and products from brands that you know and use every day. That's a good starting place for figuring out what kind of brands you want to work with. So that's step number 2. The third step for how I recommend starting your business to become a UGC creator quickly is to create some new social media accounts. Now, you don't have to do this. It is optional. You can totally stick with the social media accounts that you already have and love. However, I recommend if you want to really be serious about UGC and actually turn it into a business, I recommend starting from scratch with some completely new social media accounts. So I recommend making specific UGC accounts on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. So Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter are the three biggest ones that I recommend for UGC. Some people also use LinkedIn, but I personally haven't had luck on there, but feel free to do so. If you love LinkedIn, you already use it, go for it. So I recommend, if you have the time, to create a brand new social media account from scratch on the platforms that you choose, and put UGC in your handle name. So for example, I started a UGC TikTok account specifically for UGC content. So my handle is UGC by Stacey. So you can do the same, do UGC, put your name if it's not taken, but make some form of username with UGC in the title, because that'll help brands and other creators be able to go to your account and boom, instantly see what you do. When you have UGC in the title, it just makes it a lot easier for brands to find you and know what you do and want to work with you. When brands are scouting for creators, you want to make it as easy as possible for them to find you. So definitely create on the platforms you choose a brand new UGC account starting from scratch. Like I said, I recommend Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. But do what works for you, and then put UGC in the title. Get your account set up, put a nice profile picture of yourself in good lighting so it looks professional. Again, you want to think of this as a business, not just a hobby. Unless you want to just treat it as a hobby, that's fine. But if you're like me and you want to actually turn it into a business and make money from it, then you need to take it seriously. So that starts with how you show up online. So in your bio, definitely put UGC creator for what you do. And then you want to put an email address in your bio, a link so they can, when brands find you, they can just boom, easily send you an email or a DM, depending on the platform. You want to make it as easy as possible for brands to reach out to you that you can. You don't want them to be searching for your email address and it's not there, because then they'll just move on and look for someone else. They don't have time to be scouting for ways to contact you. So just make it easy for them. Put your email address in your bios for your UGC accounts. And this has worked really well for me. I've had so many brands email me with opportunities because I had my email address visible for them. So I definitely recommend starting some new social media accounts. Maybe just start with one or two. You don't have to do a ton. I would just pick one or two platforms to focus on. So I recommend TikTok and Twitter, but Instagram is also a great option. So pick one or two platforms that you're most comfortable with already and you already use and love, and start there. And you'll be good to go. All right, the fourth step I recommend doing to start your UGC creation business is to put together a portfolio and share it online. So I will do a full video on this if you would like. Let me know down below, and I will create a template for you guys to use that you can get down below. So if you want to use my template, if you have no idea how to create a portfolio, you can use my template to get you started. But I created a template in Canva, like most UGC creators do. I already use Canva for my business, so it was an easy way for me to do it. I already had an account, but if you don't, you can use my link below to sign up for Canva. It's totally free. You don't have to get the paid version. Just get a free account on Canva. And like I said, you can use my template below, but I'll make a separate video in depth on this. But you want to make a portfolio to show brands, because a lot of times brands, when they're hiring UGC creators, they will ask for a portfolio. They want to see what past work you've done, and they want to just see samples of work that you can do for them. And they want to get a sense of your style and if it matches well with their brand. So I highly recommend creating a portfolio in Canva. It's totally free. It won't take you long. What you want to do is, I'll do a video on this, but you want to include who you are, what you do, a little bit of information about you. Maybe put what UGC is, because some brands are still figuring it out and they're not sure. So a little description about what UGC is, how you can help them. You can put your pricing on there if you wish. Some people do, some people don't. And then you just want to create a couple slides on the portfolio to include some video and some photo samples. And this is super important, like I said, because since it is a creative job, before brands hire you, they are going to want to see, like I said, what you can do, what your editing style looks like, things like that. So you want to think about what services you want to offer. Do you want to just offer photography for brands, so just taking pictures? Do you want to do TikTok videos and like reels and photography, or just one or the other? I think most brands these days are looking for video content. So if you're comfortable filming vertical content like TikToks and reels, then you'll be off to a great start. So I recommend definitely doing video, because video converts very, very well today. It does even better than photos, but photos are still also a great thing to offer brands, like some product photography. So you definitely want to do photos, videos, or both if you can. And you want to put all of this in your portfolio, like I said, with your pricing. And I could do a separate video on the portfolio, what it looks like, what I charge. If you want to see it, let me know in a comment down below and I'll be happy to film that for you. But just to give you an overview, those are the things you want to include. And like going back to what I was saying about content, so what you want to do is you want to include content samples in your portfolio. And you may be wondering, well, if I'm just starting out and I haven't worked with brands, then how am I going to show past work that I've done? Good question. I had the same question when I started, but the answer is simple. What you want to do is, this is what everybody does and it works. It worked for me. It'll work for you too. You want to gather some products around your house that you already have. Don't go out and buy anything. You want to use what you already have for free. So find your favorite products around your house, whether it's, and like I said, depending on what niche you want to do. So if you want to do beauty, get your favorite skincare items, your favorite self-care items, and hair care. Get your favorite shampoo and conditioner, a hair mask, fashion. Put an outfit together. Like books, candles, whatever you want. Grab, like it could even be food. Grab things around your house that you already have and that you love. And what you want to do is just literally film some sample content with it. Just pretend you're creating content for a brand. You could do, like I said, a product review, a demo. Like there's so many different things you could do. Take some product photo shots that are professional with like a nice background and some nice lighting. And, you know, film yourself using the products, film a voiceover, like things like that. Just create content that's fun, that's relatable, and that essentially sells the product. That's what brands want. The ultimate goal of creating content for brands is to get them more exposure and more sales. So when you create even sample content, you want to make sure that you like format it in a way that would make someone actually want to buy the product. So what I like to do is start with a hook in the first few seconds. Then you want to talk about a problem that the person using the product is experiencing. Then you want to show how the product provides that solution to that problem and why the person watching needs to buy that product. That is what brands are looking for. They essentially want content that is going to help their products sell and help them make money. So keep that in mind when you're creating. You want it to be persuasive content that enables people to buy. So think about this even when you're creating sample content. I could do a video on how I create content and show you behind the scenes process of what it looks like. So if you want to see that, let me know. But that's essentially how it works. You just want to create simple and fun and engaging content to help sell a product. It doesn't have to be perfect quality. Brands aren't looking for perfection. They just want down-to-earth, realistic, relatable content from normal people like us. So it doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to make sure you have good sound, good lighting, all of those things. And like I said, just start taking sample videos and photos just to get practice with things around your house, and then upload them in Canva to your portfolio, because then you will have work to show brands. It doesn't matter if you've never worked with the brand before. It will look real, and brands will want to work with you because they can see what you can do. So definitely take some time, film some sample video and photo content, and put that in your portfolio, because I promise you it'll help brands discover you, notice you, and want to work with you versus someone who doesn't have any samples. They want to see what you could do for them. So get started making some sample content. It doesn't have to take long. Get it in your portfolio and you're good to go. The fifth step I recommend to start your own UGC creator business in a month or less is to engage with other creators in the UGC community. This is really, really important, because doing so is going to help you grow as a creator. I think this is so important, and a lot of people don't mention it. So this is why I said it's important to make UGC social media accounts so that you and other creators can follow each other. You can chat, you can get inspiration from each other and like bounce off ideas. And it's important to engage and like get to know other creators, because if you meet other creators that are ahead of you and have been doing it for a while, they have a lot of insight to share. And especially on TikTok, they will share that information with you for free. So you can learn so much from them and, you know, network with them. You can follow them, they can follow you back. You can help each other's social media accounts grow so brands notice you. Even though you don't need followers, it's still nice to show, especially on TikTok, that you have followers. I already have over 1,000 followers on my UGC TikTok, literally just from sharing my account with the UGC Twitter community. People are so nice in this community. It's unreal. It is not what you expect. But the UGC community on Twitter is so supportive, so nice. Everybody is so friendly and so willing to help and so welcoming. So if you want to do some like welcome posts after you create your Twitter account and say that you're a new creator and you would love to like learn from other people and ask questions, network, everybody is super nice. And people that are further along in the journey than you, like I said, will really mentor you. They'll share tips. Like, the community is so nice, and they can actually refer you to brands. So if there's like these bigger creators that have been doing this for a while and they work with like agencies and they work with big brands, sometimes they'll share opportunities on Twitter that like the brands they work with are looking for more creators. And then if you network with them and everything, then you can reach out and you can potentially get those opportunities. So networking with other creators, especially on Twitter, is so important in this community. Like I said, to learn, to grow as a creator and a person, and it also can help you get brand deals. I've gotten almost all of my brand deals so far from Twitter. I would say the ones that have helped me are Twitter and TikTok. So those are important. So you want to, like I said, you want to engage with other people in the community, follow them, support them, and post often. So every time you create a new piece of content, whether it's for your, like a sample for your portfolio or a brand, with their permission, sometimes they'll let you post the content you create for them on your social media accounts. You don't have to, but sometimes brands will allow it, so you want to check with them. But I do this. So I treat like my TikTok and my Twitter for UGC as a portfolio in addition to my actual portfolio that I created in Canva. So on my social media accounts, I will literally share the content I create for brands if they allow me to, because then brands can come across your profile, like I said, see all the work you've done as like a portfolio, and sometimes they'll just reach out to you like straight from TikTok or Instagram or Twitter. So definitely with the brand's permission, if you can, post your work that you do on your social media accounts. It's an easy way for brands to find you. If you post the content, use hashtags for UGC. This is how I've gotten multiple deals, is like I post my content and then the brands will reach out to me through either like DM or email saying they saw my TikTok content that I've done for other brands and they love it. So definitely recommend engaging with other creators in the communities on Twitter and TikTok and Instagram. Follow each other, support each other, and follow brands on there too. And definitely do all that and post your work if you can, if the brand you're working with allows it, because it will really help you get exposure and help you essentially land new clients. The sixth step for starting your business as a creator is to start actually working with brands. So you might be wondering how to do this. So like I was mentioning earlier, sometimes brands will find you if you post consistently on like Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and social media. They will reach out to you, but in the beginning, it is not as likely. Usually brands will start reaching out to you when you're further along. I noticed that when I started, I didn't get as many inbounds, they call them, where brands reach out to you. I didn't get as many when I first started because I was brand new. Like brands didn't even know like I existed or what I was doing. But a couple of months in, and now I'm at the point where like I get a lot of inbounds. Like brands are starting to email me to work together after seeing my work and everything. So I don't have to do as much outreach and outbound work. But when you get started, you definitely are going to want to, like I said, post your content, even if it's your sample content, engage with brands on your social media accounts, and also don't be afraid to pitch your favorite brands. There's no right or wrong way. I know people will have different opinions about this, but at the end, there's really no right or wrong way to pitch. A lot of creators like sell pitching templates and all this stuff, but I don't believe that you need to spend any money to be successful. Honestly, like save your money. All you want to do is, send the brand like a DM or an email with a fun subject line, and then introduce yourself. Just keep it short and sweet, but introduce yourself. Tell them why you love their brand. Share your excitement, your enthusiasm for their products. You've been using their products for years. You love their brand, and then share who you are, what you do, and what you can do for them, what kind of content you can create, and boom, that's it. Send it off. Like, I think we make it more complicated than it needs to be, but don't be afraid to start pitching, start engaging with brands you want to work with. Once you figure out your niche, just go for it. The worst that can happen is they either don't respond or they say no, and it's not the end of the world. If that happens, you just move on. You keep going, keep pitching, pitch to a few brands a day, and then you'll eventually get to the point where people will get back to you and want to work with you. So you just have to stick it out, give it time. This is essentially a business, so don't give up. You're not going to see results right away. There's no instant gratification, so you just have to know going in, if you're going to do this, it's going to require a lot of patience, hard work, and resilience. So just hang in there. It's going to take time. A lot of people get discouraged right away if they're pitching and they're not hearing back, and like they're not seeing progress and other people are getting all these deals. Just don't compare yourself to anyone else. Everyone's on a different journey. Everyone's timeline for this kind of work is different. Some people have immediate success, and then others it takes longer. I'm one of the people that it's taken me longer. So don't sweat it. Just keep going. Think about why you really want to do this, how it's going to help you. I know people have left their 9-to-5s to do this full time, and it's changed their lives. So think about your why, and like I said, just keep going when it's hard. I promise you it'll be worth it if you stick it out. Don't give up and don't quit. Those are the most important things I could tell you. But don't be afraid to pitch your favorite brands, whether you send them a DM or an email, and definitely follow up if you don't hear from them. I like to follow up like a few days after I message them. Just don't follow up and don't be spammy. Just follow up maybe once or twice, and then if you don't hear back, just move on. So just don't get discouraged. Just keep going. Like I said, keep doing your thing, and I promise you it will pay off in no time. Another thing you can do besides pitching, if pitching brands intimidates you since you're first starting out, You could also apply for UGC jobs on job boards. I know that people have success on Upwork and Fiverr and even Indeed. I haven't personally done this strategy, but I've seen people say that it works. So a lot of times now, brands will post opportunities on Upwork, like I said, all those job boards, looking for UGC creators. So definitely give it a shot if you're willing to. Maybe you already use Upwork before and you like it. Definitely give it a try. It isn't something that I've tried to do, but I've heard from other people that they have gotten like really, really good clients from Upwork and Fiverr and such. So definitely like give it a try. You just have to see what works for you in this business and do what works for you. Everyone's gonna be different, but I highly recommend just giving it a try. If you're not comfortable like pitching brands right away, you never know. Just give it a shot and see what happens. But you have to do what works for you in the end. And then once you actually find a brand that wants to work with you, it's really, really exciting. That is like such a fun step in the right direction. It makes you feel like everything you're doing, all the hard work is paying off. So a lot of the time, creators, myself included, will start with gifted collabs, which is where a brand sends you their product for free in exchange for the content that you're going to create for them. So this is how I started doing UGC. I think a lot of people start with gifted collabs because I think it's a great way to start. I recommend it. Some people don't, but if you're brand new, especially if you're brand new to content creation, I recommend just doing gifted collabs with brands because it's an easy way to get your feet wet and actually see if you like doing this work, because you might not like doing it. You might not like creating the content. So doing gifted collabs is kind of like a no pressure way to work with brands and like get your feet wet, see if it's right for you without having the pressure of like getting paid from it and everything. So every brand is different. The gifted collabs I've done have been like, they send me the free product in the mail. I don't have to pay anything in exchange for either I film like a video for them or I'll leave a review on Amazon. A lot of times there are small Amazon brands that will reach out to you because like they're trying to grow. So a lot of times they'll actually ask you, instead of doing like a video for UGC content, they'll ask you to leave an Amazon review on the product for them. And that does not mean it's a scam. Don't be alarmed. That is a common thing. Like I said, I've done a lot of collabs where I've left an Amazon review instead of like a video. So it just depends on the brand. I've done both. But definitely I suggest taking gifted collabs. If brands reach out to you to send you something for free and have you try it, definitely do it. But of course, only do it if you want to do it. Only do it if you're interested in the product. Do not say yes to just any collab. Like, don't say yes to just any brand. Do your research. There's a lot of scams out there, so be careful. I could do a video on this too. But make sure you research the brands because there are a lot of scammers. Research the brands. And like I said, don't feel like you have to work with just anybody that reaches out to you. Only work with brands that have products that you will actually use and want to create content with. For instance, there was a company that reached out to me recently to do a gifted collab, and it was for like men's skincare. Now, does that make sense? Like, why would they even be reaching out to me? I'm a woman, but they sell only men's skincare. They don't even sell any products for women. So just use your common sense. Why would they even be reaching out to me? It doesn't make sense because I'm not their demographic. You know what I'm saying? So just use your good judgment and your common sense. If a collab doesn't make sense, if it's not a product that you're going to use or even like, or can even use, like, just reject it. Just don't do it. So only take gifted and paid collabs for brands that you actually want to work with and will be excited to make content for, because if you don't want the product, if you're not interested, you're not going to be motivated to make the content, and the brand will not be happy in the end, and it'll just be a waste of time on both ends. So like I said, make sure you're interested in, research the brands that reach out to you before you respond to them. Make sure they're legit. And make sure it's something you can actually use and you want to do and you want to work with them. Don't just say yes to anybody for the sake of it. I know it's tempting, but it's just going to be a waste of time in the end. Only work with brands that are in the niche that you want to do and are products that you're actually interested in and will actually use. So once you do gifted collabs, so you'll exchange contacts with the brand, they'll get your information, they'll send you the product. They'll usually give you a timeline on and some deliverable details on when they want you to have the product to them by, so be aware of that. They'll have their time limits. Usually it's 14 days after you receive a product, they want to get the content from you. So just keep it in mind, respect the brand and everything, and make sure you read all the information they give you so you're on the same page. But once you do the gifted collab, you get it to them. Add it to your portfolio because gifted collabs are a great way to grow your portfolio. That's how I've grown mine, besides what I said before. So you could still use content around your house before you start working with brands, but once you start doing collabs, definitely put the content that you create for the brands in your portfolio. It's a great way to show future brands that want to work with you what you can do. So definitely do that when you do gifted collabs. And then also going along with gifted collabs, what you can do is, I've seen people do, is you can actually turn gifted collabs sometimes into paid collabs. So sometimes it can be tempting to just say no when we're not getting paid. But one of the reasons why I recommend doing gifted collabs is because it can actually lead to paid opportunities down the road with the brand. So if it's a really brand new brand who doesn't have a lot of money and they want to do a gifted collab, don't necessarily turn it down just because there's no payment involved, because like I said, it could lead to a really good opportunity down the road. This has been happening to me and it's happened to other people where I'll do an amazing job for them. They're very happy with it. Then they'll keep me on file. So kind of like when you're applying for a job, they'll keep you on file, and then down the road when they're looking for creators and they actually have a budget to pay you, they can reach out to you because, you left off on good terms, you developed a good relationship, you gave them the content on time, you made the client happy, so they want to work with you again. So gifted collab, keep in mind, could always lead to a paid collab down the road. So don't necessarily say no just because it's gifted. If it's a company that you could see yourself working with for pay down the road, definitely do a free collab. Like I said, you don't know where it can lead. I've already had brands who I've done free collabs for reach out to me later on to do paid collabs. So you never know where it can lead. You want to be in touch, stay in touch with the brands, leave off on a good note, make sure you make them happy, follow their guidelines, and get the content to them on time, or even earlier than the deadline if you can. It just makes you look better. You want to portray your best self and do the best job you can, so they want to work with you again down the road for future collabs. So I definitely recommend doing the gifted collabs because they could turn into paid collabs. You never know. And sometimes you can also, if a brand reaches out to you to do a gifted collab, sometimes you can actually turn it into a paid collab. So I've seen people do this where they'll negotiate it. If it's a free one, they'll tell the brand all the value they can provide for them, and then they could turn it into a paid opportunity. So you could definitely do that. I haven't done this a lot of times yet, but it's definitely an option. So gifted collabs are a great way to get started. And like I said, don't reject them because they could turn into great opportunities later down the road. So keep that in mind. And then just a few things to keep in mind when you start getting paid collabs. I could do another video on this too, again in the series, so stay tuned, but you want to get a UGC contract that both you and the brand sign before you do any work together, because you want to make sure you're on the same page and you have all the deliverables and all the information you need in written form for documentation purposes. So you want to keep that in mind. So I highly recommend, I actually purchased my UGC contract on Etsy, And it was only like a couple dollars, so definitely check Etsy. They have some great templates. I know there's a lot of people on social media that sell them too, other creators, but I got mine from Etsy and I really like it. It was only a couple dollars, but you don't need to do this right away. After you get some gifted collabs and some experience under your belt and you start getting paid opportunities, then I recommend sending a contract, but don't worry about it in the beginning. I just wanted to mention it because you definitely will want a contract later on down the road when you're doing those paid opportunities. And going along with the contract, you will either want, you want to set up a payment place to take payment. So, you could either set up a PayPal where brands can send you the money, or you can use an invoicing software to send them an invoice before or after you create the content if you're getting paid. I use Wave, which is a free software. I use it for my online business outside of UGC. I've used it for years. It's great. I love it. So you could definitely use Wave if you want to invoice, or like I said, you could use PayPal or Venmo just when you're receiving payment from brands. But that's like I said, that's further down the road. I just wanted to share it with you just to give you a heads up. But I can definitely make another video on that, so stay tuned. Alright, so we made it to the end of this video. Thank you for sticking around. So this was my video where I explain what UGC is and how you can get started as a UGC creator in 1 month or less, like I did. So I hope this video was helpful, gave you some insight, some information about really what the industry is all about and how you can get started if you want to work with brands. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions, and I will make another video to answer them. Like I said, I do plan on turning this into a series where I create different videos for different topics because there's a lot to go over for UGC when starting a business. So stay tuned. I'll be filming some more videos for you guys on this topic, but I really hope this was helpful. And you just keep in mind, you can do this. If UGC is something you want to do, you could totally do it. You just have to put in the work, but it's completely doable. Take it from me, I'm an ordinary person who creates content for brands, and you can do it too. You just have to put in the work, don't give up, and work hard for what you want, just like anything else in life. So you could totally do this quickly. It doesn't take a lot of time or money or anything like that. You just have to put in the work to get started. So definitely give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave any questions you have about UGC below. If you're a UGC creator, let me know in a comment below. I would love to chat with you, and feel free to share any other tips you have below that I may have missed. But like I said, this is the first video in a series I'll be doing, so stay tuned for the other videos. If you enjoyed, please like this video, comment below, subscribe to our channel. I appreciate you so much for sticking around, and I will see you soon in our next video. Take care and have an amazing day. Bye.